Hi students, today we are going to discuss a very important and practical topic under explainable AI. Already we saw the unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, unit 4 and now we are going to start a unit 5th. So and I want to you listen to this session not like a theory subject but like something that is already part of your daily life without you realizing it because most of the time the students think AI means only coding or algorithms. But the real question is not just how the models work, but why they behave in a certain way. And that why is the heart of explainable AI. Now imagine this. Okay. Every time you open your phone, you are interacting with the intelligent systems continuously. Whether it is Instagram recommending reels, YouTube suggesting videos, Google showing search result, or even a banking app detecting suspicious activity. So all these intelligent systems are making the decision based on data. But here is the problem. These systems are often like a black boxes, meaning they give the output, but they don't tell the reason clearly. And in real world applications, especially in the areas like healthcare or finance, we can't accept the decisions without explanation because a wrong decision can lead to a serious consequences. So, explainable AI comes into the picture to make the system transparent and understandable and trustworthy too. Now in uh, now in session, we are going to study a XAI in general way. Instead, we are going to focus how explainability works across these different types of data because the data is not always the same. Sometimes it comes as a time-based signal like a stock prices or weather reports, or sometimes it comes as a text like messages or reviews, and sometimes it comes as a images like x-rays or photos. So one single explanation can't work for all types of data, and that is why this is the topic become very important. By the end of the session, you should be able to connect every concept with real world systems around you. And when you leave this class, when you leave this video, I want you to start observing technology differently. Not just using it, but questioning it. Like, why did the system recommend this? Why did it predict this? What data influences the decision? And that mindset itself the first step towards the understanding the explainable AI deeply. Hope you understood, right? We will see the topic of time series forecasting and NLP, natural language processing, and computer visions of XAI. We'll see one by one. Right. So now we are discussing already using in the every single day. I'll show you the you have to use a real time example later. Okay. We will move the next slide. This is your syllabus for 4th unit. Now let us slowly into the understanding the types of data. We are dealing with it because before we talk about explanations, we must understand what exactly we are explaining. In AI system, the data mainly comes in three major forms, right? So, which are time-based data, text-based data, image-based data. And each one behave the completely differently. Let me explain. This is in a very simple way so that you never forget it. Think about it, fitness tracking app that records your steps every hour. So that is the time series data. Okay. And the order of the matters, meaning yesterday's activity affect the today's pattern. So now think about WhatsApp messages or product reviews on Amazon That is the text data. So where the meaning is not just in individual words, but in how words are arranged together. Because even a small word can completely change in the meaning of sentences. Now think about photos or videos, like a facial recognitions or medical scans. So that is the image data, where the system must understand the visual pattern instead of numbers or words. So now the key idea you must understand here is this. Explanation is not one size fits all, meaning we can't use the same explanation method for all three types. For example, in time series, we ask which past time influenced the result. In NLP, we ask which word influenced the meaning. And in computer vision, we ask which part of the image influenced the prediction. So, explanation is always tied out to the nature of the data. Let me connect this to your daily life again. When you check your phone, your alarm or calendar works with the time data. Your chats work with the text data. Your camera works with the image data. So unknowingly, you are interacting with all domains every single day. So that is why understanding the separation is very important. Because once you understand the nature of data, you will automatically understand how the explanation should be designed. Right? I'll tell you the real time. Okay. Depth in real life flow. Today we are, sorry. Uh, Today, we are already sorry. Today we are already discussed the something that you already like that every single day, already using every single day. But most of you have never actually questioned how it works internally. So that is the idea of explainable AI. And the more importantly, how this explainability behaves differently depending on the type of data. And we are working with now before I even define anything. If I want to imagine a very simple situations. Okay, today morning when you woke up, you might have checked your phone. Maybe you opened Instagram and immediately you started seeing reels to match your interest. Maybe tech videos, motivational videos, or entertainment videos. And you kept scrolling because everything felt relevant to you. Now, here is the question I want you to think about. Why exactly are you seeing these videos and not something completely random? Is it magic? Is it coincidence? Or is it a system making decisions based on your behavior? Now, clearly, it is a system. But here is the bigger problem. Do you actually know why the system chooses the specific videos for you? What exact data influenced that decision? What part of your past activity contributed to this recommendation? And that is where explainable AI becomes more important. Right? Clear? Because in the real world applications, we can't just accept the output. We need the reason, especially when the decisions impact human lives. Now take the another example. Suppose a bank blocks your transaction, saying it is a suspicious. Immediately you will ask why. Because it is your money. You need justification. So explanation is not optional. It is a necessary. Now in today's session, okay, we are in today's session or this video, we are going to explore this three different types of data because the data itself is not uniform. Sometimes it is in the time based like a stock prices or hard signals. Sometimes it is the text like a reviews or messages. And sometimes it is the visual like our image videos. So each one require a completely different way of explanation. So I want to you stay connected through this session and keep mapping every concept, something you have already experienced in your real life. Because once you do that, you will never forget this topic. Now let us go deeper into the first domain. So which is time series forecasting and its explainability. Time series data is very unique because it is not just about the values. It is about the how value change over the time. And more importantly, how the past values influence future outcomes. So this makes explanation slightly complex because we are not just looking at a single input, but a sequence of inputs over time. Let me give you a simple real life scenario. Imagine you are trying to predict the weather. It will rain tomorrow. Now this prediction is not based on a single factor. It depends on the multiple factors like the temperature, humidity, wind speed, and all these factors over the past few days or even weeks. So when a model predicts rainfall, the natural question is which part of this past data influenced this prediction as most? Was it yesterday's humidity, or last week temperature trend, or sudden change in pressure? So this is where explainability becomes critical. Techniques like a sharp and lime are adapted to the time series so that they can highlight the importance of different time steps. So instead of giving a vague answer, the system can say something like that last 5 days of humidity had the highest contribution to today's prediction. Now think about how useful this is in real world system, especially in industries like a finance where the stock market predictions depend on heavily on the past trends. And the investor need to know why a model predicting a rise or fall. Without explanation, the prediction are useless because no one will trust them. So the key challenge in time series explainability is handling the temporal dependency, meaning understanding how past events influence the future outcomes, and also dealing with the trend changes because the patterns may not remain the constant or over time. So the explanation must not only show the importance but also show the influence change over the time. So, and this is what makes time series XAI both powerful and challenging. Hope you understood. For example, which past 7 days affected your today's rainfall prediction? We will see the next. Now let us connect the time series explainability with real world applications in a deeper way that you can visualize how it's actually used. In this financial domain, when a model predicts that a stock price will increase, okay, traders and analysts will never accept the prediction blindly. They will ask that is the reason behind the prediction. And the XAI helps answer that by showing the whether the prediction is based on long-term trends or recent spikes or external factors. Similarly, in a weather forecasting, the prediction are made using the large amount of historical data and need to understand which parameter like a temperature, humidity or pressure contributed the most. Now think about the healthcare where wearable devices continuously monitor the patient data like a heart rate or oxygen levels. And if an abnormal condition is detected, the doctors need to know whether it's due to sudden spike or gradual trend or some external activity. So XAI helps identify the exact time interval or signal that caused this issue. Even in your smart homes or IoT systems, the energy consumption predictions are made based on the usage patterns. And the explainability helps identify which device or time periods consuming more energy. So the main takeaway here is that XAA in the time series is not just about the prediction. It is about the understanding The timeline of influence, meaning what happened, when it happened, and how it affected the outcome. And this kind of insight is extremely valuable in the decision making system, right? Hope you clearly understood the time series in XI applications, right? Now let us this take even more practical so that you can clearly visualize its importance. Imagine a smart electricity system in your home that predict your power usage and give your bill estimate in advance. Now, if the bill suddenly increases, you will definitely question it. You will ask which device or the time cost increased, and XAI can answer that by showing maybe your AC usage during the night hours increased significantly, right? So this is what time series in XI applications. So XI visualize the temporal cause and effect across the past data. Hope you understood. Okay, now move to the next slide. NLP and explainability. What is mean by NLP? Natural language processing. Okay, so which deals with the text data, and here the challenge is complete. Okay, here the challenge is completely different from the time series, because instead of numbers changing over time, we are dealing with the words that form meaning based on the context. The most important thing you must understand in NLP is that words do not carry the meaning individually. Okay, their meaning depends on how they are used in sentence. Let me give you a simple example. Consider a sentence: the movie was not great. And now if a model predict negative sentiment, we need to understand why. Because the word great is positive, but the word is not completely reverse the meaning. So the explanation must highlight the word not had a strong influence on the prediction. So this is where the techniques like attention mechanism come into play, especially in the transformer models where the models assign the importance to the different words based on their role in the sentence. Similarly, sharp and lime can also used to identify which words contributed to the most. Okay, most to the output. Now think about why this is important in real world applications, especially in chatbots or customer service systems, because if the system is misunderstand a sentence, it can give the completely wrong responses. So the explainability helps verify whether the model is actually understanding the meaning or just reacting to the keywords. Another challenge or main challenge in NLP is sequential dependency. What is the meaning sequential dependency? The position of words of matters, and changing the order can change the meaning completely. Okay, that is the highlight one, sequential dependency. Okay, so change the words, change the meaning completely. So the explanation must capture not just your words importance, but also relationship between the words. And this is make NLP explainability both interesting and complex. Okay, hope you understood what is NLP and explainability. The main challenges is sequential dependency. The word affect each other. We can move the next slide. Now let us how the NLP explainability is used in real time or real life in a more practical way. In a chatbot, when a user asks a question, the system must understand the intent, and the explainability help developers verify the system is focusing on the correct words. In a spam detection, the emails are classified as spam or not based on the certain keywords, free, offer, like that, and patterns. And XAI helps the identify which words triggered the classification. In search engines like Google, when you type a query, the system try to understand your intent and provide the relevant result. And explainability help ensure that the system is interpreting your query correctly. Let me give you simple relatable example. When you type cheap laptops under 50,000, the system understands that you are looking for budget options, not just laptops. And this understanding comes from analyzing the relationship between words. Now imagine if the system misinterprets your queries and shows the irrelevant details or irrelevant result, that would be a frustrating. And this is why explainability is important. It helps the developers debug and improve the model so that they truly understand the language rather than matching patterns. So, NLP XAI is not just about transparency. It is about ensuring the correctness in understanding the human language. Right? Hope you understood what I'm told. Now let us go to deeper. A very relatable example. Imagine you are chatting with the customer support bot on e-commerce website, and you type, "I did not receive any order." Now the system must understand that this is a complaint, not a general query, and respond accordingly. If the system misinterprets this, it will give the irrelevant answers, and that leads to the poor user experience. Okay, so hope you understood what is NLP in the real-time example. What are the applications? Okay, mainly it is used for the sentiment classifiers. Okay, any doubt regarding this? We will move on the next slide. Computer vision and explainability. Now let us move to the final domain, which is the computer vision, where the input is images or videos, and here the challenges is completely different, because instead of words or numbers, we are dealing with the pixels. A single image can contain thousands or even millions of pixels, and the model processes all of them to make a decision. So the question is, how do we explain which part of the image influenced the decision? This is where the techniques like GradCam come into play. Already you know GradCam generate the heat map. So which generate the heat map to highlight the important region. So let me explain. This is the very important real world example. In a medical imaging, suppose a model predict that the tumor is present in X-ray image. Now the doctors will not accept this prediction blindly. They will they will ask where exactly the model looking, and the GradCam help answer this by highlighting the region of the image that influences the prediction. If the highlighted region matches the actual tumor location, then the model can be trusted. Otherwise, what happened? It indicates a problem. Exactly. Similarly, we have to take another example in a real time. Automatically driving, which means self-driving. If a car make a decision to stop, we need to know whether it is detected pedestrian or traffic signal or something else. So explainability helps you verify whether the model is making correct decisions even in a security systems. Facial recognition must be explainable. to ensure that the system is not making the false identification. So the key idea is here, that is the computer vision explainability focuses on spatial importance, meaning which part of the image, okay, matters the most and is critical in sensitive applications. Hope you understood computer vision, the third domain. Now finally discuss the challenges and future of explainable AI across all these domains. One of the biggest challenges is model complexity, because modern AI models, especially deep learning models, are highly complex and difficult to interrupt. Another challenge is trust, because users may not trust the system that do not provide the clear explanations. Also, explanations methods must be domain specific, meaning that what works for the images may not work for text time series. So, designing effective explanation methods requires a deep understanding of both data models. Now looking to the future, the explainable AI is moving towards the standardization, where explanation will be evaluated using the formal metrics, and the system will be required to provide the explanations by default. So in the future, no AI system will be accepted without explainability, especially in the critical fields like healthcare, finance, and law, because the decisions in these areas directly affect the human life. So as a future engineer, future researcher, you must only focus on the building the models, also making them interpretable and trustworthy. Because the real power of AI is not making the prediction, but making those predictions understandable to the humans. Thank you.